Hello, hello, and welcome to another episode of the world famous
Lume plotters. Yes. Very much.
Yes.
Very much Lume plotting.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of Lume plotting.
Lots of Lume plotting going on.
Yes. Now, is Lume plotters one word or two words, Ralph?
I'm writing it in one word. The Lume
You are.
plotters. Yeah.
And I'm always writing it in two words. So I think we should get on the same page here. I think it's two words.
See, I'm German.
Plotters.
I'm just putting words into one long thing.
Yes.
That's what I do.
Stack words.
We love to just create new words with just fusing two old ones. So
Yes, that's true. So I always thought it was two words, but
maybe it is the Lume plotters. I mean, yeah, you could say
Lume
that we created a new era, a new word, a new.
No.
thing.
The reason I say it's two words is because is Lume plot one word, or is it two words?
It
Lume
should be
plot.
one, right? Because it's a Lume plot. It's not a
No,
plot.
it is two words.
So
So by that definition, it should be two words.
English is too simple for us.
Yeah, two words. All right, Lume plotters in two words. Space plotters. Okay.
Okay.
So
welcome
you
to the Lume
have-
plotters. Yes.
Yeah, welcome. So you have shaken up some things.
Have I?
Yes, apparently.
Yeah.
you
So
do.
yes, of course. Yeah, I have.
Always.
There's things in my. This is the benefit of living here in the UAE and living in Dubai and having these opportunities, right? So basically,
I don't live in Dubai, but opportunities seem to find me as well.
Yes.
But I don't
That's
really
why I
go
said
out of my
UAE
way.
and of course Dubai as well. But so my wife started to nag me with my Explorer because every time, I mean, in fun, yeah, but not really 100% serious. But in all of these things is always a tiny bit of truth, right? So she started to mock me a bit and said like, so what is this watch there? Is this a Citizen? And that was my Explorer, right? Which I only bought in January. And I said, no, it's the Explorer. I said, looks like a Citizen. Looks very ordinary. Looks like any other watch. It's really boring. And I said, okay. And I tried to explain this Explorer. Wow, the history and all of this stuff. And she's like, yeah, whatever. She was pulling my leg, of course. But, sometimes it hurts a bit. And I thought, okay, can't have that every time I wear this watch, getting mocked here from my wife. So I thought, maybe there's something else out there, right? Because I was looking at your friends, Adrian, the Vacheron Constantin 5056 that I, in any case, wanted to buy back maybe. Then I thought I could sell the Explorer and get the 56 back. And then, of course, you think, well, if I could sell the Explorer, there's a budget. Suddenly that appears, right? And then obviously there was at the right time somebody from the watch group, Vasilis, who was selling his Explorer 2 with a white polar dial. And then I decided to let go of my Explorer 1 and I got the Explorer 2.
So you have doubled
the
essentially
Explorer number.
Yeah, the Explorer number. That's I don't know how else to say
100%
that.
more Explorer number.
Yeah,
Higher.
exactly.
Higher is better.
For the same price, roughly, or how much did you
Of
add?
course, I had to pay a bit on top, right?
As you do always.
Yeah, but it wasn't that much. So it was okay. It wasn't
Good.
too much.
I do like this watch. I think this watch is a very cool watch. I think it looks good on you because you have a larger wrist. It is a big boy. It is a chunker.
It is 42, but yeah, I think it does. It looks pretty okay here.
But it looks good. I love the white dial.
Yeah, and then of course the
You
big
had the black
moment.
dial before.
Yeah, so it went. Sorry,
You have the black dial before?
I did have the black dial,
So
and
now
I
you've had
really
both.
enjoyed that watch as well. But it had to go when I got my Daytona, right? So
Yeah,
Was it
I
the
remember.
Daytona?
I think it went when you got your Sky Dweller, and
Yeah.
then the Sky Dweller went for the Daytona, and then the
Correct.
Daytona went for the GMT, and then the GMT went for the...
It was all, yeah. So, but I experienced, and you know, Bruce Williams, the YouTuber, who just said like when he was accused that he's constantly flipping his watch collection, he said, "Yeah, I am collecting watches. I'm collecting watch experiences."
Yeah.
And I thought this very, very nice because there's this way of explaining this, because I have worn, for example, my Royal Oak Offshore for 1 year. I got out of it for the same price I paid for it. So that means I basically...
It's a wash.
It's a wash. I wore it for free. However, it was free. Not really, but I mean, of course, there's opportunity cost, etc. But my point is, I had this experience of 1 year wearing this Royal Oak Offshore, and that was okay. I loved the watch, and I think if I had unlimited budget, I would have kept it. But now I felt like, okay, there's time for some other experiences to come. And yeah, that's just the way it sometimes works, right? And in this case, I loved my Explorer 1, but I thought the Polar 1 was always the one I rather would have liked, but I couldn't get at the time. So there you go. Now I have it. And
Well, that's good.
I really enjoy wearing it. So it was stickered before by the previous owner. So that means that, of course, he removed the stickers before selling it, but it's like in pristine condition. It's from 2022. So when it just came out, the new model, I think just 2021, I think it came out with the 226570. And yeah, it is basically in absolutely pristine, like new condition because of the stickers. So in this case, I don't mind stickers if somebody else.
If it's somebody else, I wouldn't wear stickers, but if somebody else is going to do it, as I told you, I have my Tudor Pelagos FXD MN 21 coming, and that still has stickers. So once again, I don't mind it that way.
Yeah. So
I'm going to rip them off as soon as it's in my possession, but that's me.
Yeah. And all of that happened so fast because it was in 1 day, right? So selling the watch, getting paid, paying the other person, and getting the new watch within a few hours. It was a bit of a whirlwind. Before that, I wanted to tell you, before we talk about your Handgelenkskontrolle, your wrist check, also a very long German word, Handgelenkskontrolle, because we would put it together in one word, I went to a watch dealer who is a lovely watch dealer. He's like 24 years old, and we had this experience, which is like a typical Dubai experience. So I went with a friend who wanted to trade in 2 watches and buy 2 new watches from him. And I wanted to look at the 2-tone Daytona that he had. So we met in the Starbucks. He had the watches with him. We negotiated. He looked at the watches that my friend was selling. They found a price quite quickly. And then my friend said, but I need an extra link. He bought an GMT Master Pepsi, not the GMT Master 2, the GMT Master 1, basically, right?
Okay.
So an old model from the 90s. Lovely, for a very good price. And I would have, if he wouldn't have bought it, I would have probably just bought it because it's a Pepsi. Nice faded bezel. It was in, of course, pretty used condition, but in okay condition for that age and all of this stuff. So it was really good. However, the dealer has the watches that he just got in an exchange, the watches that he just sold, basically, and the Daytona on the table, and says, you know what, I just live 5 minutes from here. I just fix the watch and get the link on, and I'll come back. So he just let us sit there with all of his watches, my friend's watches, except the one that he was fixing. Nobody had paid anything yet, right? So he met us in person the first time. We had chatted before on WhatsApp. And then, 10 minutes later, he was back. And you think, that just doesn't happen in other places, right?
Well, I had similar situation when I went to sell my Submariner. I sold it to a guy, also a young gentleman by the name of Hassan from Time Treasury. Mm-hmm. And he's also, I would say, 30 years old. And he showed, we had a meeting arranged at a cafe. He shows up, he brings this freaking roll of watches and puts everything down. And then literally leaves me with it while he goes and takes my sub back to his office to go and, get it moved on because he had a buyer coming for it. So he had to meet the buyer. And then I said, okay, I'll just wait here. And he left all of these Datejusts and everything.
Yep.
And just chilled with it, looked at him, had a good time, came back, money was given, and I was done. So this is not out of the norm for Dubai. It's crazy.
It's so
How
nice,
many
right?
times have you been left without anyone in Timepiece 360? At least 50.
I mean, look,
right? Like
all the
with no
stores
one
have
there. Like,
CCTV and all of these things. And if, police is pretty spot on.
and they
here,
know
but-
us.
but
They know
still,
us. That's the other thing. But
Yeah. But true, yeah, it's just like it's a lot of trust here, and that's a nice thing that you can, in a safe environment, you don't have to worry about these kind of things, right?
yeah,
So,
of course.
what's on your wrist now?
What do you think?
Well, if you ask like this, it can only be the Zenith.
It is. Still. I don't know why.
Yeah.
I really, really enjoy wearing it. I have nothing else to say. I do once in a while wear other watches. I wore my Pelagos and my Black Bay this week. I wore my Grand Seiko this week, but when I wear a dress watch like the Grand Seiko, I come home and immediately a sport watch goes on after I walk back, come back from work. So I'm not going to sit around the house in a leather strapped watch. I'm not going to, go cooking in a leather strapped watch, for instance. But with the NATO straps and the fabric straps and the bracelets, I don't care. So, So I do. I think yesterday I was wearing the Pelagos, which is always a good choice. I have the new Pelagos coming, as I mentioned, which I'm very excited about. This new Pelagos kind of was for two reasons. I was, as I mentioned, I really didn't want a new watch. I had just bought the Zenith, and then of course a friend asks. I've been pushing him to sell his FXD. He says, okay, he'll sell it. We agree on a price. But my thinking was I sometimes was putting my Pelagos on a NATO strap. And it's, when the bracelet is that nice, the titanium bracelet on it is fantastic. I don't want to be taking it on and off. I want to keep that on the bracelet. So then I wanted something similar on a NATO strap. But then my thought was, of course, I would love to have a blue watch in my collection because I have no color in my collection at the moment. Everything is black or silver.
Okay.
So I managed now blue it's going to be on a gray NATO strap, and it'll be the NATO Pelagos, and then the other one's the bracelet Pelagos. And one's blue and one's black. And so it is different enough to justify. That's the logic.
See, this is always, whenever you have these kind of discussions, it just needs to make you happy. And if you think they have these use cases for watches that are similar, who is to judge?
The other thing is, when I go cycling, I have to be wearing a NATO strap. I did rubber strap as well for a while. I've realized I'm not a rubber strap guy. It doesn't feel right to me. I like cloth. So I do need something on a NATO strap to go cycling in, because I'm able to put it one looser, and then as your wrist expands and contracts and it gets soaked up with sweat, it's not an issue. So the Zenith has been my cycling watch ever since I got it. However, I would like to have a second one as well, a second cycling watch, so to speak, something that is waterproof, unlike the Zenith, which is, the 50 meters. So just something that is on a NATO that has some water resistance, because everything that I have on a NATO at the moment is not waterproof. So the Hamilton Khaki, 50 meters, my Speedy, 50 meters, the Zenith, 50 meters. So that's why I was like, it'd be nice to have one watch that has water resistance.
Yeah, but and this is the thing that's this is confusing a lot of people nowadays. Since Patek, Rolex, Omega, and a couple of other brands have now started to make this 30 meters, 50 meters, 100 meters is actually 100 meters, 30 meters, 50 meters. There's always this old style that we're saying like, okay, 30 meters water resistance, wash your hands.
Yep.
Maybe rain, but 5 drops, but not at the same time. And, and these kind of things, when you think, okay, and 50 meters is like, okay, you can go into the pool, but just, not really, just be careful, right? And 100 meters is fine. Then you can actually do certain things.
I do have a secondary thing here. If it's a chronograph with pushers that are not screw down pushers, I would very much not take it in the water, simply because now you have 3 points of ingress. As opposed,
and of course, accidents happen.
As opposed to one. Yeah. If you accidentally press one of the pushers, boom, done. Even G-Shocks, remember, you cannot press buttons underwater. Even G-Shock says this.
Yeah, depending which model, some.
Depending, I'm talking about the regular 5600. The only correct G-Shock there is the square. Everything else after that is just toys. But I think still when you have the new rules that most of the watch companies now follow, saying like, okay, when we mean like Patek, who basically, again, this is something that you need to read exactly what they said, and I have copied that out of their press release, so I cannot, I can say this, to ensure the homogeneity and clarity of information provided to clients. Patek Philippe has decided to introduce a new unified standard of water resistance set at 30 meters for all watches, certified as water resistant. Again, they don't say waterproof, because waterproof, no watch is waterproof. They are only water resistant. Anyhow, and saying like 30 meters, and they have been tested, and you can do everything corresponding to a depth of 30 meters. They say they guarantee that performance. You can do this here. Day-to-day activities in which clients can engage while wearing their watch, washing their hands, showering, bathing, swimming, and other aquatic activities, including diving, to a depth of 30 meters, which corresponds in large measure to actual utilization. Yeah. So they're basically saying our watches, 30 meters, that's it. You can even dive with them 30 meters. Do you want to dive with a Calatrava on a leather band? Of course you don't. But you could, basically, Patek says. I don't know how I feel about this.
I don't know how true that is, and who's paying for a repair bill if it's not. In any case, every time you go into the water, technically you should check if the watch is still water resistant. If the seals are there, if the gaskets are still not broken and brittle and all of this stuff. But I can only talk about myself. I had this Citizen that I used for 17 years, and I took it in all the oceans and pools and Pacifics of the world, and it has been everywhere for 15, 17 years, never seen a service, always been jumped with me into the water, no screw down pushers, even though it is a chronograph, and it was fine. But technically you should every few years check the watch for water resistance, because I just once had hand washing of a JLC watch, literally hand washing, that wasn't really much, and it got water inside in a watch that was and that was really, had to go and rush it to Timepiece 360 to open it, clean it, and dry it, and so that nothing rusts and all of the stuff, which was okay, but it got water inside, and that is scary, right? In a watch that is just.
Which watch was this?
That was the watch from my wife, the JLC Rendezvous, and
it was 2 years old only.
I think so, yeah. 2 or 3 years. But, 2 or 3 years from the warranty signing, that you don't know how long it was in the shop, right?
Yeah, true.
That's also something where you think, hey, maybe it was lying around there for 3-4 years, right? So, of course, gaskets can be brittle. That's the thing. You don't know the production time. But anyhow, I think this is now confusing. Why I'm mentioning this, that Patek, that this, and Rolex and Omega are saying this is 50 meters means 50 meters, is that it's confusing for people because the other watch manufacturers don't do that. And of course, you still have older watches around where they have 50 meters, but basically it means you can just wash your hands with it. So it's a mess, as always.
Yeah. Sounds about right. Well, then anything at Patek is a mess, right? When you have this fat guy running the whole thing, and he thinks he's full of, thinks he's God's gift to humanity.
You will never get a sponsorship from Patek,
No, but the fact is, you sent me this video, and it was just them counting how many times. What's his name?
Thierry Stern and
Thierry Stern, right? Thierry
in conversation with Ben Clymer, right at the time.
Yeah, and with Ben Clymer, which I didn't even bother watching this video, by the way. No. But somebody put a counter on how many times the guy Thierry Stern says "I."
Yes, so, I did this. I decided. I.
Everything is I. And like as if there's no one else working at Patek, just him.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what an idiot. Like he's so full of himself. I did this. I did this way for this reason. And
yeah, it's weird that you have the need in a position like he is to just compensate. I mean, you are the boss. You are the CEO, owner, whatever, everything, right? Do you really have to say that it was your decision every time?
No, I don't know, but
as
he does.
Brand,
he does.
Yeah, it's
it also just doesn't look
you
good.
You want to give some of the spotlight to your team, to the people who work for you, just to lift them up, right? It's
speaking of giving the spotlight, there's another new thing that came out a couple days ago, which was the new Ferrari Luce, whatever the hell it's called. I don't know what it is, but. Lucy. This is the time where Ferrari will be like, we did this. We all did this. No, nobody's going to take responsibility for that monstrosity.
Who designed this? However, it was somebody, not me.
However, I have to say, this Ferrari has been designed. They went from, using design houses like Pininfarina and all of these Giugiaro design and all of these big names to two individuals. This was a joint design by two people.
Yeah.
And you look at the car and you're like, yeah, you can tell it was them. And it was two people I highly look up to.
Yes, me too.
And it was Mark Newson and what's his name? Johnny Ives.
Yeah.
Johnny Ives, of course, from Apple. Mm-hmm. He designed a whole bunch of Apple products, and he's kind of one of those guys known for these rounded designs, case shapes for like the original iPods and stuff like this. And then Mark Newson designed a whole bunch of stuff from toasters to the Mont Blanc pen that I have is a Mark Newson design.
Oh, he designed
made
many
ICA-Pod watches.
Correct.
So there's a whole bunch of stuff he designed. But this Ferrari, the fact that they let these two, non-Italians, like as far removed from Italian culture as you can design this, it is so... I don't even know what to call it. Is it? I don't know if Mark Newson is British. Where is he from? Do you know? Is he American or is he British?
No, I'm pretty sure Mark Newson is also British. I mean, he is Australian. Sorry, Australian.
Okay, I was going to say I don't think he's British, but nonetheless, the design is very British.
Of course, very British.
Somehow it's British. It's very British, and. I love what they did with the interior, with the how they integrated the buttons and everything. And
but wasn't the interior designed by Johnny Ive and Mark Newson did the car? Or
all I know is the two of them worked together. Yeah. I don't know who did what. I don't think with the way that this flopped right now, I don't think either of them are going to be pointing fingers to the other one real soon. But. This is, one of these situations where you're like, hey, how did you not see this coming? Like, it is it looks like a minivan. It has 24-inch rims on it, 24-inch rims. But the rims are made to look like they're tires, effectively. So they don't, not that one, the other one, the one with the different rims. If you look at, go back to your previous. So look at, one? For instance,
this one.
That one.
Yeah.
That's the rim design. And it just looks so stupid. So for those of you that haven't seen this movie, there was a movie called A National Lampoon's Vacation. This is the new one, not the old one. National Lampoon Vacation. Yeah. And it came out in, I think, 2015. And they had a van in there. And I don't know if you know this one. It is a spitting image, and you just put in van, National Lampoon Vacation van. And it is exactly this.
Yes, it looks The color
is 100%. The color is even the same.
the
And
light
fact
blue and
is-
black, and yeah.
Yeah, so if I'm not mistaken, this was an old Toyota Previa, which was a mid-engined minivan that they made back in the day, and then they just put body cladding on it. But
Because it looks like you can drive it in both directions, right? That was the
this is
thing.
what it looks like exactly. They were even a joke in the movie about which direction it goes.
And it has even mirrors on both sides, front and back.
Yeah. So the quote from the movie was that it's the car is called the Tartan Prancer, and the guy, when he brings it home, he says it's like the Honda of Albania. Apparently, it was an Albanian design. But anyway, yeah, beautiful car. But anyway, tell me this does not look the same as the new Ferrari.
Yeah, see, the thing is...
Whatever it's called. Luce.
Luce. I think, I don't know how it's pronounced, but Luce or Luce. I think it would be pronounced Luce.
I think it was Luce as well, is what I was guessing.
Ferrari, and it's Italian for light.
No, Lusso is light.
No, Luce is light. I think Luce is light.
Lusso is light in terms of weight. So maybe Luce is light in terms of sun?
Google.com, blah, 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 from Italian to English.
Italian was there. Why are you translating from Hungarian?
It went away.
How do you know?
Maybe the last time I checked here something to say that in Hungarian. So, Luce. Light.
But which light?
Light.
Like sunlight. Okay, now put in Lusso. Lusso.
Luxury.
Luxury. Oh, okay, maybe I was wrong. Maybe. So Lusso is luxury. Because I think, some Italians have used the term Lusso before. I don't know if it was Ferrari as well. But anyway,
anyhow,
long
the point
story
is,
short.
It's light. I mean, like sunlight, like whatever. Maybe because it's with solar power, it can drive with light. But given for
weighs
itself,
4 tons.
The thing is that you have certain things in this car that you can't really see until you really look close to it. Can I zoom in here somewhere? Somewhat that doesn't work. I wanted to. Here. Go this way. So you have, for example, here this big. It's not a grill, right? The air just goes through. This is completely hollow, right?
In the front.
Yeah, in the front.
It's super weird.
It looks like a handle where you can take the car. If you're a giant, you can take the car and grab it. But my point is, I think it's a cool car. It just looks like every of these Chinese EVs. There is so no. For me personally, I'm not an expert in Ferrari, but nothing in this car tells me it's a Ferrari. If they didn't have the logos, it could have been a Xiaomi.
Inside,
right?
The inside is the exact same. You cannot tell that there's any Ferrari in here whatsoever.
And that's weird. That's weird. You shouldn't have that. That's a problem. And I think that's why everybody's like, ooh.
So there was a very famous quote right now. I don't want to get it wrong. Flavio. You know Flavio Briatore?
Yes, of course. The infamous
on the Ferrari. Yeah,
owner
he's
of the billionaire nightclubs and former owner of Benetton and former team head of,
the quote,
Formula One teams. And still. Right?
He was banned from Formula One for a while.
Yeah, for life. He was banned for life. And then the life ban was lifted.
Here's the quote.
Yeah.
One big advantage of the Ferrari Luce, the Chinese won't want to copy this one. So
yes, not anymore, no.
So apparently, he thinks it's very ugly as well. I haven't seen a single positive reaction to it yet, but it could be that there are European regulations that are forcing certain car companies to create these types of cars, right? So if we remember back, Aston Martin did the same thing with that, with Toyota, with the Toyota IQ. They made the Aston Martin Signet, which was a very tiny little.
The Signet, the Aston Martin Signet was a Mercedes-Benz Smart.
No, it was a Toyota IQ.
IQ?
Yeah. Oh. Anyway.
Yes. IQ, yes. There was another one.
So
Brabus did this. Yeah.
Brabus was with the Smart. but that's all because it's all Mercedes-Benz.
Yeah.
So basically, the whole point of making this was for Aston Martin is that they needed to get the average fuel consumption down in the range of cars. So I'm wondering if Ferrari has a similar issue. Remember, it doesn't matter how many you sell of them. What matters is your lineup.
Yeah,
right?
so
if you have 5 cars for sale and one of them is an EV, that's going to bring your overall
average
down.
But
it doesn't matter if nobody buys it.
I don't know, but it's maybe California is always like in the front runners of the environmental stuff, the emissions and all of this stuff. Who knows? There might be, because the Ferrari CEO or the company Ferrari was basically on the record saying, we will never build an SUV.
Yeah.
We will rather sell the company before building an SUV. Mm-hmm. And then they built an SUV.
Then they built it.
They said the same thing about an electric car. We will rather sell the company before we build an electric car. And then they built an electric car. So it's like, come on, guys. Stop saying these things, because you just backtrack anyway. But you see on my screen here the Ferrari Luce and the Nissan Leaf. And when you see them next
they're
to
identical.
each other, and you think, how can that be?
So somebody posted, it says the Ferrari Luce explained, and it says the Nissan Leaf 2026, and there's a picture of it. Yeah. And then next to it, it has a picture of the Ferrari Luce, and it says Nissan Leaf Pro Max.
Yes, exactly. It's like faster and a bit bigger and they're saying the most shared comment to it was the new Ferrari Luce looks less like a supercar and more like a budget Nissan or Toyota. And Ferrari shares fell by nearly 8% in the first day of.
Can you believe it? You release a car and you just tanks your stock.
That is so weird. But it can happen. But similar to watches like the Nautilus or the Royal Oak, when it was released, nobody liked it. The Daytona, when it was released, nobody liked it, right? And it took years.
Look at the AP Code 1159. When it was released, nobody liked it. Here we are 10 years later, nobody likes it still.
And still nobody likes it. No, it gets more and more. A lot of people actually come over and saying to me when I'm wearing my Code 1159, and they are watch people and saying, oh, yeah. I mean, I really like it now, right? And there's people who just warm up to it. But it took a while. It took new dials. It took new... a bit of a different dial design as well, right? Moving of the date window and just new dials and all of the stuff.
I do believe this Ferrari Luce will sell like hotcakes here in Dubai.
Yeah, the thing, it's Ferrari. It's €500,000. Of course it will sell, just because it is the most coolest, newest,
expensive,
thing.
Coolest, newest thing. Not even coolest,
they
newest
will sell
thing.
enough of these. Yeah. But I still feel, especially the back, and maybe also the front, it's just like, this is not there. Where are the Ferrari lines? I mean, somebody explain this to me, please, of how this is anything like a Ferrari, because it's just, I can't see it. I think Lamborghini, when they brought out the Urus, I thought, this is actually a Ferrari. A Lamborghini SUV. They made it actually look.
But the thing is, the Urus is just an Audi Q8. Like, you look at an Audi Q8, you're like,
it's a Cayenne Coupe,
the exact
basically.
same thing.
A Cayenne Coupe, Audi Q8,
No, but the Audi looks, even the lines are very, very similar, right?
True.
I look at the Q8 and I'm like, that's an Urus.
But
right?
you know who owns Lamborghini, right?
Volkswagen.
No.
Everybody owns
Audi.
Yeah,
but that's a difference.
Technically Volkswagen.
Audi owns Lamborghini and Ducati. And then, of course, Audi is owned by Volkswagen. But there is like a layer between.
There is,
brands, where usually the brands are flat, right? They're all owned by.
But the whole thing about that was, back in the day, I saw a documentary about this, by the way. It just came out recently about the Audi TT and why the Audi TT was such a big deal.
I love this car. Yeah.
The original TT, right? And it looked exactly like the what's it called? The prototypes that this never happens, right? When the prototypes actually look like the production cars. And it was designed by, or apparently Audi has had this issue or not Audi, but Volkswagen Group has had this for a while, where they've had a number of these Golf based or whatever at the time. So, for instance, you had the Volkswagen Beetle, and then they made from the Beetle, they made the coupe, which was the Carmen Ghia, right?
Oh, the Carmen Ghia, yeah.
And then that was immensely successful. It was just a more expensive Golf, right, with a different body. Then they had the Scirocco Golf. Once again, made a Scirocco out of it. Awesome. Then they did it with the Corrado, which did not go very well because the price was extremely high.
And also then they had G-Load, what is it? The G-Lader, this weird, not turbocharged, but the G. It had this engine that no other car had in the
VR6
lineup. No, that in the Corrado had this.
The Corrado had the VR6
as well, but it had also this G thing.
I don't recall. But
that
anyway,
was that was not very reliable in the beginning.
But the point of the story is that at the time, everyone, so all of these Volkswagens were essentially priced like Audis. And then they wanted to differentiate the brands a little bit and kind of, separate them, which we'll talk a little bit about this kind of separation in the watch world. I think it's in a couple weeks, we have a guest on who will talk about the new house of brands and how the house of brands will separate their brands. But that is
so everybody who's in marketing. And you say like, oh, this is the new, mothership, the new owning company of the brands of Universal Genève, Breitling, and Gaillet, and it's called House of Brands. And you get the comments like, oh, do they also sell pancakes? It's just it doesn't. House of Brands is so generic.
For those that are in UAE, this to me is exactly brands for less, right? That's exactly what it reminds me of. House of Brands sounds like one of those stores that you see at the outlet mall where they just have a bunch of, brand names that they're selling. Like, what was the other one that they have? The Deal and all of these that they have in the mall.
Yeah.
The stupidest name. But anyway, long story short, by the way, did you know that the Audi TT killed a whole bunch of people?
What do you mean killed?
So apparently the design element of the TT was that they did not, for any reason, want a spoiler on the back. Originally, they wanted the slant nose, the slant tail, and because it looked clean.
Yeah.
Well, apparently under certain conditions, especially on the Autobahn, this meant extremely low downforce on the rear, and the car would just
There were some whirls. What do you call it? Not cyclones, whirls.
Whirlpools.
Not whirlpools. Like turbulences in the back, right?
Turbulence. Okay.
That actually would lift the back of the
rear of the car,
the rear of the car, and then make the contact with the road so fickle that it just in a corner would just go. And then that's it. Yeah.
Audi
or in a lane
had
change
to recall 2 years of TTs, so 99 and 2000, and they had to install a rear spoiler, fully new suspension in the front and rear, and a number of other issues to make it more stable on the
high speeds. But it was only the first version of the TT, right? Not
the 99 and 2000. So the first Mark 1 TT. But anyway, long story. I don't even know how we got here once again.
We talked about the Ferrari and we ended up with the TT.
But how? Oh, because the Lamborghini is owned by Audi and Audi TT. Yeah, that's
whatever.
But anyway, still interesting story.
Yeah.
All right, let's get back to watches.
Okay.
So there's a few new watches that came out.
Let's go back to James Bond.
Okay, let's go to James Bond. Why don't you talk about James
Bond? We know there is a new movie coming out, but we don't know who will be the new James Bond actor. I don't know if they started
we
filming.
Talked about this already, right?
Yeah,
we said that there's a little bit of speculation that whatever his name is, something Anya or no.
Yeah, but the thing is, could be even a lady. We don't know. But the point is, obviously, the rest of the licensees of the James Bond universe can't wait for this movie to come out. They need to do stuff. For example, video games. So we have a new video game coming out which does not feature the lookalike of the previous James Bond, Daniel Craig, but somebody else, a good-looking guy, but we don't know who it is. It is not a real person, we assume, right? So, and also he is obviously, because that's now the thing, everything is tied into product placement and agreements and all of this stuff. This video game character is wearing a watch. So obviously, because Omega has the rights to give the watches or be the watch of choice for James Bond, this person is wearing a Omega watch. And it can also, depending on what is the mood at Omega headquarters, they decide if he's an Aquaterra person or a Seamaster person or whatever, right? He is now a Seamaster chronograph person on a NATO strap. And that is a watch that has been designed for the James Bond video game. And it is pretty interesting to see. I think in any case, the Omega Seamaster Professional is on its way out. I cannot see how it's being, I think it's, what is it? It came out in 2017. I think.
I don't know, but it's been out
so
for
it's like 10 years now soon, or next year it will be replaced after 10 years. I'm pretty sure about it. Hopefully with something a bit more elegant, a bit more slimmer, but it is a fantastic watch in general, right? I think I had one, I loved it. It's a great watch. It just, I don't know, it just misses a few things that are just taking it from being great, just being good, right? But and this is a chronograph watch that has these that looks like screw down pushers, but they're not, right? On the side. And it has, of course, the manual helium escape valve at 10 o'clock.
Can we mention the thickness of this watch?
Yeah, as with all Omegas, we will, the thickness.
No, this is absurd.
Okay, the thickness.
There are watches whose diameter is what this watch's thickness is. I'm not joking.
Yes, you're right. So it is 17.2 millimeters thick.
That is ridiculous.
17. And you think
how do you even wear that?
Omega.
How thick is a Ploprof in comparison?
I have no idea.
Omega Ploprof thickness. A Ploprof, dear sir, is 15.5.
No way.
Yep.
With this humongously poking out crystal, the Ploprof.
Yep. Yeah. It says, depending on the Omegas, the current Omega steel and titanium models are 15.5 millimeters in thickness.
Which one?
Classic models used to be more. They used to be slightly chunkier. They were 17 and a half. Those were the caliber 8500 models. And then the vintage ones from the 600 meters from the 70s, those were 14 and a half millimeters.
Oh, man. I mean, okay, are the normal...
So nowhere close to this, by the way.
Are the normal chronograph versions also that thick?
Yeah, they are. But remember, the NATO strap adds a chunk as well. So this is going to be 16 and change, I'm guessing?
17.2 is the normal thickness.
Pause. That means this is without the NATO strap.
100%. It's just a watch, yeah. So the NATO strap will add another 1 millimeter.
2 millimeters.
Sorry?
It's going to be a millimeter a pop on each strap, and it's going to double pass.
Yeah.
So you're looking at a 20 millimeter thick watch.
So,
which, if you, ladies and gentlemen, are just questioning how thick is 20 millimeters, look at your spring bar. That is most likely 20 millimeters.
Yes.
That's how thick.
Put it poking out of you.
And put it upwards, not sideways, upwards.
Oh my God. I mean, this is just...
What in the hell are these people thinking? Omega cannot be this stupid, but they continue doing such stupid shit. Yeah. It's as if they want us to make fun of them.
Yes. I mean, and they just continue with this, right? So The observatory, we have mentioned that so many times as a dress watch being so thick. But now this is just ridiculous. I mean, and as you said, if you wear this, of course, on the NATO strap, it will be so much thicker because this is not a single loop NATO strap, right?
Yes, of course, it's a double pass NATO.
It's a double pass. I mean, this will be just. I mean, this is a hockey puck on your wrist. It is just insane.
How big is it? 44 mm, I think.
This is 44 millimeters. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, thank God it's a bit bigger because otherwise it would be even worse if it's, I don't know what is
even then people were saying, look at this, just any picture of this watch. Mm-hmm. And you see that like the shirt cuff is so far below it.
Yeah.
Like you get this depth effect already just when somebody is wearing this watch. It's ridiculous.
So, and this is where I think all of this research and development, all of this money and all of this stuff, and then just you still come out with watches that are just like so out of touch with what modern watchmaking is. I just wanted to mention this while we are at this topic, before we go into the next one, that Formex of all brands came out with an integrated bracelet watch, which cost less than the Seamaster chronograph. Of course, it is not a chrono. It's an integrated bracelet watch, 40 millimeters in diameter, with a bracelet that looks like it could be a Moser, has a micro adjustable butterfly clasp, has a micro rotor movement in it, and 72 hours power reserve. This is developed with Orage, together with Orage, micro movement, is fully in titanium grade 5. Quick exchange bracelet. You can change that yourself. It's just a fantastic watch. And you know the thickness of this watch? The case?
8 millimeters. 8.
6.9. It is insanely thin.
And how much does it cost?
It cost us 30,500 dirhams. It's chronometer spec. I mean, just from the specification point, it's just mind-blowingly good, right? I mean, it's a Formex. For a Formex, it's expensive, yeah? But
yeah, that's what I was going to say.
But I think for what it is amazing. I mean,
it does look a little bit like the JLC Master.
It does, integrated. And it also looks a bit like a Streamliner. I mean, the hands are a bit Moser-esque.
Kind of Moser-y, yeah.
You have a lacquer dial.
The small seconds also looks Moser-y.
Yeah, so there is, of course, inspiration. But on the other hand, Formex is in a family of brands. You know, the father of the owner of Formex is the owner of Dexel, who makes, cases and bracelets for Ottlands, which is a Moser company, or precision engineering, and Hublot and IWC and Jacob & Co. and Gérard Perregaux and all of these high-end watchmakers use cases and bracelets from this company. They have lots of patents, especially exotic materials like ceramic and all of this stuff. They are just like one of the Swiss suppliers that do all of these things for high-end brands. And Cadranor is, I think, the uncle or something like that of this person who make these dials, right? This is a lacquer dial in this case, in this watch. So they have in the family basically all of these expertise that they can put into Formex. Mm-hmm. And of course, well, I don't know why watch brands have to end in X, Timex, Rolex, Formex, but it seems to be a thing. It's like Windex, Pyrex, Durex.
Yeah, I never really thought about it, but yes,
there's
a lot of these.
I don't know. It's like at least there's no name anymore on the dial, just the logo, which is good. But I'm not a fan of the name Formex, even though I think I have a very, very high respect for the watches they make because I think they're fantastic. And this is the first manufacturer movement they have co-developed together with Orage for them. And it's, as I said, micro rotor, tungsten micro rotor inside, and it is crazy. They have black gold galvanic treatment for the movement, so it looks cool and darkish, and it has a transparent case back. All of this in 6.9 millimeters. And then we have this first light watch from Omega, where you think, what the hell is going on? 17. So you can basically fit 2.5 of these watches on top of each other. And this watch, the Omega, doesn't even have a long power reserve or anything, right? It's just 60 hours, I guess. 60-hour power reserve. So the Orange has 72. And I don't know. It's just, come on, guys. Really. Omega.
It
Seriously.
is.
And it's more expensive, of course, the Omega than the Formex. Okay, I have no words for
All right.
it. 40,000 dirhams, 10,000 dirhams more. Anyhow, but I just wanted to mention this. The Formex is, for me, was one of these super surprise releases, which I think is just fantastic. Oh yeah, did I tell you that it's also a silicon hairspring, silicon escape wheel, and silicon pallet fork in this. So you have the latest tech from Orange in this thing. I mean, this is, by all means, if that would be a Moser on the dial, that watch would be 4 or 5 times the price. And nobody would say anything about it. Would say, yeah, it's
as
worth
I
it.
mentioned, it is a mishmash of other brands. But now, this reminds me, by the way, of how do you feel now that we're away from Watches and Wonders by quite some time? How do you feel about the integrated JLC? I have 2 things I want to kind of mention.
Yeah.
One, I think it might kind of, I don't know, I'm still at 50-50, but it's grown on me a little bit more. But my issue is essentially, I was discussing this with my brother, and he said, because I was like, they should have created a different line, because essentially it just looks like you slap the bracelet onto a JLC master control. But he said, yeah, but it is a master control. And then I was like, yeah, I guess you're right. So they didn't separate it so that you cannot criticize that they essentially just slapped the bracelet on a master control, because it is a master control, right? It's like changing the color of a Submariner and saying, but it's still a Submariner. And like, we never said it wasn't a Submariner, right? So in this case, should they have created a new line? Should they have separated it and give it a little bit more design? Because I think it's kind of lacking in the design element.
Yeah.
It's still just the master control with an integrated bracelet. So I don't know how I feel about this. What do you think?
I had it on my wrist. I mean, the date version. And I, sorry. And I can only say that I love it. I think it's a really, really nice watch. I can't wait for other colors maybe to come out, I think. I do really enjoyed having it on my wrist. I really enjoyed looking at it. I think in person it's even nicer than on the pictures. I think it has grown on me even more since it's been released. I'm also from a price perspective. In the beginning I thought, oh yeah, well, it's not too bad, but not that great. But then the more I see other brands raising their prices like mad, you think, wait a second, that's actually a very good value for money there, right? But you're right. It's seeing it when I have to go on the website and I have to click on Master Control.
And there's no special name, right?
I feel a bit like,
does it say anything different? It just says Master Control Date, right?
No, chronometre. It's called the chronometre or chronometry or something. Let me open the website.
But it's so confusing.
So you go to Master Control, plop, and then you see Master Control Chronometre date.
Yeah. As opposed to, go show me a regular Master Control date. There it is.
Master Control Classic. It's not
Classic.
Or here date.
No,
the Classic is the
Control
36
date.
millimeter. This is also new.
Yeah.
And then you have the date. Yeah. Master Control Date and Master Control Chronometre Date. Yeah.
I don't know. So it looks exact same. Like it is literally the same.
I think what is nearly the same is the hands.
And the dial and the
dial,
logo
but in the dial you have
bezel.
A bit more details, right? So it's sportier because you do have this extra.
No, we're looking at date versus dates. Don't.
Yeah, here. See, you have only here you have only one row, and here you have 2 rows, right? Of little indices.
But does the date version have that?
Yeah.
You're looking at the power reserve version.
Yeah. Same here. See.
Okay.
So if you put them next to each other, there's differences, and then of course you have the Lume dots you still have, but it looks a bit more sporty. They have everything else is similar. I think the
And
case,
how much
of
more
course,
is it?
Sorry?
How much more is it compared to the regular date?
So you have 38,800 dirhams versus 54 on the bracelet. If you add the bracelet, let's say 5,000. Okay, you're on 42, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a bit
Then you
much.
have a bit of a better dial.
Better dial.
But yeah, it is still, of
You have
course,
the
a
new
premium
certification
for
or whatever, the letters, whatever they call them, FKP,
HLG, HGL, something like that.
PLO.
HPG, High Performance
Yeah.
Guarantee. Exactly. What does it mean? It's the seal of enduring reliability. The High Precision Guarantee rigorously tests calibers and cased watches against daily wear cycles over 3 days that cover 2 typical weekdays and 1 weekend day, simulating wrist positions, pressure, temperature variations, and shocks. Now the question is,
Are you doing something different on a weekend that you're not doing on a weekday?
Yeah. I'm doing mountain climbing, surfing, skydiving, and
But that's only on the weekend.
UFC fighting, and only on the weekend. Yeah, my day job is an accountant, so that means I just barely move my hand.
So they put the watch down for 2 days, and on the third day they move it around a little bit, and they say,
I don't know. I don't know what this means and what they assume you do during the workday and during the weekend. Or maybe it's the other way around. Maybe
watch brands.
Maybe you are a boxing instructor during the day, and then at the weekend you're just partying. Who knows?
It's stupid.
They replaced basically the 1,000-hour test that the master control has. And a 1,000-hour test is obviously much more than a 3-day test.
Yes, I was just about to say. So we went from essentially, ladies and gentlemen, we went from a 42-day test to 3, including 2 weekdays and a weekend. The hell?
Okay, let's say that is a bit funny. But I have a feeling, I don't know, is this actually chronometer certified, this movement? Let me click on
it has to be, because it says chronometer in the name.
Yeah, that's true.
Kosk, there you go, boom,
yeah.
Kosk.
Well, I don't think the others are, the master control.
No, the others are not. JLC has not been chronometer
because
certifying
they have their
anything.
Own 1,000-hour test. I mean, they have their own precision tests and all of this stuff. Let me have a look here if they say something about it. Movement. Yeah, they don't say anything about this being a chronometer. It just says that it has the. Here, this little. You see this little 1,000 hours
master
JLC control. It has, yeah. So
what's it called? Has this the reverso?
Yeah, exactly. Basically, all of them have that, right? All of the.
I'm not sure. I'm assuming the quartz watches don't.
So yeah, true. So it is replacing this. It's adding the chronometer certification that they didn't have, but it is changing this to the high performance guarantee, high precision guarantee. Or did I mess this up again? No, I think it is right. High precision guarantee. HP.
It's one or the other. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, but it's. So you say you warmed up a bit more to this watch, right?
I think I have, but I think I would like to see a no-date version at like 37 mm, and then I would be much more intrigued. But I don't like date windows. I don't like.
What about the second?
A lot of things.
What about the master here? The power reserve version. It doesn't have a date window and has a pointer.
No, it is just a date. I've become kind of the mindset that I don't want to set anything. It's hard enough for me to pick up a watch and set the time. I don't want to deal with date windows. I don't want to deal with setting dates. If it was just a power reserve, I would say okay. But I mean, once again, I don't know. I'm not a huge fan. I think the looks really, really good. The perpetual calendar. I think that one is the best looking one for sure. But too much. Too much going on.
What do you mean? What do you think about the
pusher
that you have? Yeah, that the date in the power reserve version, the date has to be set by the pusher.
It's weird.
Yeah, because this is the old school watchmaking from JLC, right? Sometimes they have these older calibers where they decided to not change the date quick set on the crown, but have an extra pusher for it. And this is here directly under the crown, or on the 4 o'clock position is basically a small dimple, and that you press in with a pen
Tool.
or a plastic pusher or something like that, and you just move the date forward. This used to be something which was explained to me from the 7750. There's some variants that have a pusher date. And they said it's more robust in the long run because you have one less thing that has to be done with the crown.
Yeah.
Is it true? I don't know. But nowadays, I think these are all issues that have been solved, really. But
this is funny because everyone's going away from pushers, right? AP now saying everything is settable by the crown. IWC, of course, everything is settable by the crown when we talk about perpetual calendars. But what is funny to me is JLC really did pushers, and they did pushers a lot. A lot of their watches had these pushers, so much so that the box that my Reverso comes in, which is the older generation box, not the wooden box, but the plasticky looking one, has nothing but a slot for the pusher tool. So it's got the watch, and then like mine was empty because it doesn't have a pusher, but it had the empty little slot for a pusher tool. So they are very much into pushers, it seems. So let's talk a few more new things
two more,
before we
two more watches.
I don't know how long have we been recording?
We have been recording for an hour, but it seemed to like time was flying. Time was flying. Let's do a couple of watches in a fast succession.
And we call it a day.
So we have another Glashütte 60s chronograph, Bicompax one with purple, or is it purple?
The annual edition, which I had the orange version of this one, not the chrono. I had the 2019 annual edition, which was the same watch, the Senator 60s they used to call it, not chrono, and basically they had the weird dials.
The orange that was like the Eye of Sauron, right? Yeah.
The Eye of Sauron, exactly.
Very cool.
I didn't have it for very long. I had it for a week or two. Okay. But there's a number of things I didn't like about it. Number one was, it was orange. It was really orange. Number two was the movement did not fill the case back, but Glashütte original decided to make the whole case back glass anyway.
Yeah.
And then
so
all you see is the tiny movement, and then you see the stems and the crown stem coming through. It's so stupid.
Yeah, it's a weird decision to do that, right? To have the spacer, basically, the metal spacer
on display,
fully on display with the cutouts for the crown and the pushers there, and you think, why show this? I mean, it's nice to see as a demonstration model maybe in the shop, right? But do you really want to have this in your?
I didn't like it.
I don't know. It's weird.
I didn't like it. So that was one of the reasons. And the movement is very, very small inside of this case.
Right. It's a
mine was the 39mm, and even then it was,
It's a beautiful movement, though, but it is a bit small. I agree. And the decision to display it like this makes it even smaller.
Yeah.
I mean, like my Explorer 1 that I exchanged to the Explorer 2 lasted since January. I bought it in January, and now it's, May. My goodness. Very fast. Mm-hmm. I would have never thought, but again, it's an Explorer 2, an Explorer, so it's okay. Okay, so that Glashütte.
But it's I like the purple. They do this every year. Yeah. They have a different color and a different model. So they call it the annual series. Every year they come out with some bright, new, vibrant color with this rippled dial, which Glashütte makes their own dials, right? So essentially they're one of the few companies that make their dials in houses. Dials in house, and really cool colors. And the coolest thing about this specific model is that these weird Art Deco looking numerals that they use for the 12 and the 6 and the 3 and the 9, if you had them, they're cut into the dial. Right. So they're not applied, but they're literally cut out of the dial, which if you look at it at an angle, they're shiny. Because it's literally a hole in the dial.
Interesting.
It's super cool. Yeah. I don't know.
You
the
can't see it
pictures,
here
you
in
can't
my
really
pictures,
see it.
but it's okay. Yeah. So I had the chance of joining a watch club watch where there's a Chopard Alpine Eagle, also with a purple dial, the so-called Purple Rain, which is not yet released. One of 10 pieces, but it's purple. I had one purple Oris, right? And I don't think the color is for me, right? So I had to pass on this. Anyhow, next one. We have a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful Chapek. Look at this. Hypnotizing. You have a small...
I was going to say the same thing.
Hypnotizing. You have a small second at, was it 5 o'clock, I would say? So 4:30 for small seconds. And that has concentric rings that like when you throw something into a stone in the pond, right? You have these waves.
Ripples.
Ripples.
This has been done before by Bulgari with their the limited edition they did with that Japanese artist whose name I have forgotten. Bulgari Octo Finissimo. But it's the exact...
Yeah, the thing is, how this is different, though, is that they have done it in a very different way, because they have used enamel. And they have cut out basically the underlying part of the enamel dial in these different heights. So basically the ripples are in the underlying structure. This is not a different paint that is being used. It's just that the enamel is thinner on these parts
in
that
those
are
areas.
higher. So it's incredible how they have done it, actually.
Look at, do a Google search for me, Bulgari Octo Finissimo Tadao Ando. Tadao Ando. And zoom in on that and tell me it's not. The one on the left, the black one.
This one?
Or the one in the black, yeah, that one, yeah. And it's the exact same thing.
Yes, but this is just cut out.
Small seconds on the opposite side, but the ripples go from that concentric going out.
Yes, but this is just cut out. But it's not this wavy style.
Yeah.
But you're right.
Still, but it's the same pattern.
It's the idea. Yeah, same idea. And this is not concentric, right? This is going off center a bit, so to spread over the dial. But yes, I see what you mean.
But that's what the other one's doing as well. Look. It starts from the inside, from the small seconds, and it goes boom, 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 one step up.
But it's the same amount going into every direction. But here, see here, how this is much tighter here. It is cramped here, compressed here, and it goes. It is not
you're
round.
Saying it gets
it's not concentric. Yeah, it's pushed into this side. It's a bit different, which is actually even more special under Bulgari, I think, because the idea is even more out there compared to the harsh, sharp angles that you have in the rest of the watch. But yeah, this is, anyhow, it looks really, really cool. It's done in a very nice way and has a beautiful movement inside. Beautiful.
I don't like it.
It's green. I love it. So, next one. That's one for you.
This is more my style.
Yeah. It is the Chaikin Matroshkin, the cat wristmon, whatever that is. So it has lugs on the top that are like cat ears. On the bottom, it has normal lugs and the crown at 6 o'clock. Has, of course, the big cat eyes. Has a bit of a frown here and eyebrows. And has, of course, the whiskers and the nose and the mouth and all of this stuff going on there. It's a typical Chaikin. Looks very funny. It is the wrist monsters. Matroshkin, the cat, is this part. This is apparently a children's book by Edward Uspensky and became a pop culture icon. And yeah, this is, it's pretty cool.
Who is buying this? Who is going to say, this is the watch that I would like to wear to the office this week?
I have no idea. It's a La Jouperet movement inside, blah, 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 blah. And it cost 20,000 Swiss francs, 18,800. It's not cheap. Only 90 pieces will be sold. Next.
No.
Yeah. Is a Moser that doesn't look like a Moser to me. On the first glance.
Yeah, it does not look like a Moser.
Pioneer
It looks like something, but I don't know what.
It's a Pioneer case and it has a tachymeter scale. I think for a Moser, usually having so little print on the dial, this is busy, right? You have, and the tachymeter scale. And
I know it. It reminds me of a Memovox.
Yeah, 100%. Because it also has this disc inside. And I think it shows the chronograph, because it's a chronograph, right? So you have 2 second hands. I think I don't know if it's a split second or is one the running seconds and one is the chronograph. I think one is the chronograph and one is this running seconds. And then you have the disc, probably the minutes. That would make sense.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I think that would make sense.
But maybe we could just read the article and we would know. But
nah,
that is
too much. Too many
things.
words. No need. We just speculate.
AI summarize. What I think is absolutely fantastic, of course, is the movement. It's an Agenor collaboration from Moser again, and this is just, you look at it and you think, is every part really doing something, or they just put 500 parts in this watch?
Parts
to just make it look like it's super complicated. No, it's
it looks super complex, but on the front it does not.
No,
which is, I guess, a Moser.
That's the Moser thing. Yeah.
Telltale, right? Yeah.
So you have a small disc basically on 1/3 of the dial, which then is rotating and shows probably the minute counter, I guess, of the chronograph. And you have a date on 6 o'clock, which is also interesting. And you have a very, very reasonable price of only 75,000 Swiss francs.
Sign me up.
Yep.
I'll take 3.
We sign you up for you are a passport holder of the greatest nation on earth, right?
I am the greatest nation and the greatest watch brand put together. Zenith X America.
Okay. Yes, so this is the Chronomaster Revival Liberty 2. What happened to the first Liberty?
Was there Google it? I don't know. I don't remember there being a Liberty 1.
So
is there one? Do a quick search.
Okay. Let me go.
I've never. Maybe
Chronomaster.
Zenith does too many.
Revival Liberty.
No, I mean, I'm guessing it's just going to be called Liberty.
There is one. Yeah, here.
Let's see. Oh.
And it looks pretty much the same.
What is it?
Okay. Blurry photos. So you have a red and white chronograph second hand, which is, red and white and red and white and red and white. I mean, in small increments. It looks quite funny. Let's go back to the new one, which is pretty much the same.
Oh, it's the inverse. Is the other one with white subdials? Yes. Okay. So they just inversed it. Essentially, it is now a white dial with blue subdials, and before it was a blue dial with white subdials. But that's not the most important thing, Ralph. What is the most important thing?
The most important thing is it has a red date disc.
Oh, it does. It has that too, which is kind of cool. And it comes in a ladder bracelet.
And it comes in a carbon version as well. 2 versions.
They have a carbon version, which is limited to 15 pieces.
Wow, that's not many.
So only 15 Americans can get it.
And you can only buy it in America?
No, I have no clue.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So you have what is it? GF, Jean Frère, what is it?
Gay Frère bracelet.
Gay Frère G. This is
so on the regular one is the Gay Frère bracelet. On the as we discussed last time, on the carbon fiber model, it's just a strap because it was $15,000 to opt for the bracelet on that model in the limited edition Revolution version.
So this is coming with a 400 movement, the El Primero 400, which is a great movement. It is on the back. It says that it's a 1 of 250. It's not numbered, and it says that it's America 250th anniversary edition. So,
and what about the other one? Go back to the previous one we looked at in Chrono 24. What's on the back of that one? Because it has to be something, right?
It's hard to read there.
Zoom, Ralph.
You can't. This is Chrono 24.
There's no zooming. There's no
if I
zoom.
zoom, then it's very blurry. I don't think it says anything. Oh, it's also limited of 250 or 150 edition.
Yeah, what was it like? This came out a few years ago. So what was it for then?
Wait, let me see. They said this here. Wait, they talked about the previous version here somewhere. And then we can... 6 years ago, Zenith launched the Revival Liberty, another exclusive North American market model, also draped in the flag's colors. However, the Revival Liberty 2 inverts the color scheme, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. So what was the last...
So
whatever
this
they're
is for 250th
celebrating.
anniversary. That one was just the U.S. limited edition, I guess.
Anyhow, this is the for the 250th anniversary of the best country in the world. It is available. It's available 25 pieces, by the way, it says here for the carbon version, and 250 for the steel version. And it's exclusively available in the United States. So if you hear this anywhere else in the world, you have to revert to Chrono 24 and buy it pre-owned or from somebody buying it for you. Price is 10,600 in steel and 13,400 in carbon. Not bad. And you have a watch with a height of 12.6 millimeters. So
yeah, it's the same as mine.
I just want to say it as a comparison to our
video
game watch. Yeah, Seamaster.
Yeah.
Well,
there you go.
Yeah.
All right. What else do we got?
I think, we can call it a day. There's some other watches. The Albis Horn has released. Albis Horn is only, for me, something that I'm looking at because it's the owner or the CEO of Celita AMT, right? Yep. Both of them are Celita and AMT, the special.
So the story of Albis Horn or however you say it is he wanted to make watches that he thought should have existed back in the day. That was the whole premise of the watch company. These are watches that look like they would have been issued or created in the 70s, but they weren't. And I think it's a very neat concept. So he does some cool stuff with that.
Yeah. And to be honest, this watch looks good. It has these two very weird sub-dials that are basically below the line between 3 and 9, right? So they're really sunken down. But it looks actually quite okay. It looks pretty good.
It's a see-through dial.
Yeah. And a mono-pusher chronograph, which is also pretty cool. And it's
with a crown at 10:30.
Yeah, everything is next to each other. It's pretty. It's like a stopwatch, like the.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is cool, and this whole thing, even though it's based on the proprietary hand-wound monopusher chronograph by Celita, based on the 7750 architecture in general, it has 65-hour power reserve, so more than the Omega, more tech in it.
It's only 4,000 Swiss francs only.
Yeah, and guess how thick the watch is? 12 millimeters. Even with all of this, yes, it's only hand wound, so obviously it's a bit kind of
11 without the crystal. It says.
Yeah, so it is pretty cool. As you know, and this is half the price of, for example, the Omega. 99 pieces will be produced over the next 3 years, and you can only buy them at albishornwatches.ch starting today, on May 29th, when we're recording this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right.
There we go. And I think
anything else we left out?
It for today. We have recorded a monster episode, but it was fun.
It was good. We originally wanted to record something else as well, but I think we ran out of time. Oh, I want to mention this. Hamilton, Disclosure Day. The new Steven Spielberg movie that's coming out. Another one of these Hollywood/Hamilton collabs, and they will have 2 watches in the movie, and they have kind of revealed both, and one of them is the blacked out Hamilton khaki field, which I think is pretty cool. Yeah. So I don't know. The other one's something else. I don't know what it is, but
let's see.
All right. Anywho, we'll catch you next week for another episode. We'll get on to a topic next week.
Yes,
as opposed to rambling.
So much. You know what I like about these years nowadays? That all the watch brands are just releasing stuff. It's relatively short after Watches and Wonders. Relatively April. Okay, it's May, right? One month basically after Watches and Wonders, 1.5, and we are still getting so many new releases.
Yeah,
it's nice that it's a bit spaced out, right? You always have something to talk about and complain about.
Correct. All right. On that bombshell.
Okay. Speak next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.